Watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where I curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. These are the headlines. Big security alert sounded in Maharashtra after boat laden with AK-47s and ammunition found on Raigad coast. Maharashtra government rules out terror angle. NIA team likely to reach Raigad. Escalating Savarkar showdown in the south. BJP workers try to gherao Siddaramaia's car. Congress and Muslim groups protest after Kerala school kid dresses up as Hindutva ideologue. Islamist group PFI sees red over Ganesh Puja celebrations in Karnataka school. Says move against Muslims since hijab is banned in campus. Worries over a lawless Bihar. Teen student critical after being shot from close range in Patna. War over wanted minister taking oath in Nitish government. China calls its spy ship misadventure in Lankan port as routine affair. India publicly raises concern over security threat. India's biggest telecom player lauds clean and super-fast 5G allocation process. Airtel bosses Sunil Mittal says he has never seen such efficiency in his 20-year career. Film Kashmir Files triggers new Bollywood fight. Filmmaker Anurag Kashyap does not want film to be India's Oscar entry. Agnihotri responds with genocide denier giant. All right, viewers, once again, a massive showdown is brewing between the centre and the Aam Aadmi Party. This time, the flashpoint is Rohingyas. Union Minister Anurag Thakur accused Arvind Kejriwal government of distributing rebris to Rohingyas and asking why Kejriwal could not agree to detention centres for them. Meanwhile, BJP's stand on Rohingyas is clear. Anurag Thakur said that Aam Aadmi Party is ready to compromise national security for vote bank politics and Rohingyas will be deported. All of this after Delhi government slammed centre and said BJP is conspiring to settle Rohingyas in Delhi and that Chief Secretary took decisions at behest of centre and the LG. Meanwhile, India Today has accessed the crucial meeting note which was chaired by Delhi Chief Secretary on the issue of flats for detention of Rohingyas. In the meantime, chaired on July 29th, the Delhi Chief Secretary cleared 240 detention plans for Rohingyas. The proposal was kept before Delhi LG by the AAP government. The Home Ministry issued clarifications on the issue on Wednesday. The ministry said that Aam Aadmi Party government proposed to shift Rohingyas to Delhi's Bakkarwala area. MHA also distanced itself from Hardeep Puri's statement which welcomed Rohingyas.
This controversy is created for another reason. This controversy is created because they want to divert the main issues. When they get exposed on every front, you need to ask the CM of Delhi this question. And I've been saying it for last 3 years. In last 7 years, how many school, colleges, hospitals have been opened in Delhi? How much money has been invested on the infrastructure of Delhi? How many new buses have come out on the roads of Delhi? What about the liquor policy? When he gets exposed on the excise policy, he wants to divert that. So the problem is that you people do not ask him that question, he doesn't come out and open, and that is exactly why he's trying to create this politics and this cheap politics what he's playing so that he can divert the main problem and then he can focus and people can focus on this Rohingya issue. Our stand has been made very clear by the Honorable HM. It is time for him to make his stand very clear, not us. As a party, the Home Minister had made it very clear. Now does he have the courage and the guts, the CM of Delhi, to come out and open and clear his stand?
घुसपैठिए के रूप में ही गिने जाएंगे। उनको वापस भेजने की बात विदेश मंत्रालय के माध्यम से संबंधित देशों से की जा रही है और दिल्ली सरकार को डिटेंशन सेंटर बनाने के लिए कहा गया था, स्थान चयन करने के लिए कहा गया था, लेकिन दिल्ली की सरकार ने पिछले 1-2 सालों में वो भी काम करने का काम नहीं किया है। अपने वोट बैंक की राजनीति के लिए राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के साथ खिलवाड़ करने के लिए भी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी और उनकी सरकार पीछे नहीं हटती। घुसपैठियों की पनाह और उनको जगह यहां पर नहीं होगी, उनको उनके देश में वापस भेजा जाएगा। विदेश मंत्रालय उसके लिए बातचीत कर रहा है, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल जी डिटेंशन सेंटर क्यों नहीं स्थान क्यों नहीं तय कर पाते? ऐसी कौन सी मजबूरी है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की कि डिटेंशन सेंटर वो नहीं तय कर पाए? ऐसी कौन सी मजबूरी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की कि वो मुफ्त में राशन, दाल, पानी, चावल से लेकर बिजली से लेकर अब घर देने तक का काम रोहिंग्या मुसलमान के लिए करने की बात कर रहे हैं?
अब सवाल उठता है कि अगर केंद्र सरकार का स्टैंड ये है और दिल्ली सरकार बार बार अपना रुख साफ कर चुकी है कि किसी भी तरह के अवैध प्रवास को, रोहिंग्याओं के किसी भी तरह के प्रवास को दिल्ली सरकार दिल्ली की सुरक्षा के लिए, देश की सुरक्षा के लिए खतरा मानती है, वैसे में उनको फ्लैग देने की किसी योजना का तो सवाल ही नहीं उठता। केंद्र सरकार का गृह मंत्रालय कह रहा है कि हम नहीं कर रहे, फिर ये कर कौन रहा था? और अगर दिल्ली में आवास दिए जा रहे हैं और केंद्रीय आवास मंत्री उसको अपलॉड करके कह रहे हैं केंद्र की ये शानदार योजना है, और केंद्र सरकार के अफसर और दिल्ली सरकार के अफसर मीटिंग करके और दिल्ली पुलिस के ऑफिसर मीटिंग करके कुछ डिसीजन ले रहे हैं और फिर उनको बिना चुनी हुई सरकार को दिखाए एनजी के अप्रूवल के लिए भेज रहे हैं, तो फिर ये करा कौन रहा है? अगर केंद्र सरकार इसके खिलाफ है तो फिर कौन करा रहा है?
All right, let's cut across right now to the politics of Karnataka. Tumultuous politics where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. The 2023 Karnataka elections practically knocking on the doorstep of Chief Minister Bommai. But will he continue to be the Chief Minister? That's the big question.
Is he staying or is he on his way out? There's quite frankly no bigger question in Karnataka's turbulent politics today. The fate of the Chief Minister a year into his tenure looks shaky, with murmurs of discontent escalating into full-bodied rumbles. Whether or not Bommai survives, the current turbulence over his position is one thing, but the tremors are no speculation. Amidst phone taps of ministers,
ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಡೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಸಲ್ಲಿಸೋಕೆ 8 ತಿಂಗಳು ಅಂತ
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಕಣಪ್ಪ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು.
to ministers endorsing the opposition party's tallest leader.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಆಸೆ ಇದೆ. ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವರು ಅವರು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆದಂತ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವರೇ ನೀವು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ದೇವರಾಜರಸ್ಸಾಗಬೇಕು, ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ದೇವರಾಜರಸ್ಸಾಗಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು.
To hush-hush meetings between a supposedly beleaguered chief minister and the RSS, hoping for immunity against marching orders.
Is the party ready to change Mr. Basavaraj Bommai as the chief minister? That's the big question. But however, it's unlikely at this point of time, because at what cost? It would be a second Lingayat leader who would be replaced. Just now today we saw how Yediyurappa has been elevated to the parliamentary board, accommodating the Lingayat community once again. They are the backbone of the BJP. Will the BJP have the political will and courage to replace another Lingayat? That's the big question. But things are not looking fine for the Karnataka government as for BJP here.
To the BJP High Command's man in charge of Karnataka, flying down for a high-level huddle. At the very least, indications are that all is not well. What's more, posters of other BJP leaders projecting them as future CMs have sprung up. A clear sign of blood in the water. The posters coming days after former BJP CM Jagdish Shettar arrived in Delhi, possibly to lobby for a role in the Karnataka Game of Thrones. Even a divided Congress trying to quell a public feud between Siddaramaiah and State Chief DK Shivakumar has now found an opportunity to divert from its own internal battles.
Mr. Bommai is going to be replaced as the Chief Minister before the election, sir?
I don't want to involve with their political activities. Let they keep him or let they change him. It is left to them. We are least bothered about it.
DK
But we are
Shivakumar,
very sorry that Karnataka is taking a very bad shape.
As the buzz over Bommai explodes, the BJP is playing it cool.
If you say that the CM is doing very good, if hundreds and thousands of workers they are saying he is doing very good work for the poor, for the farmers, वो आपको ध्यान में आता नहीं है. हमारे मिनिस्टर सब एक वॉइस में बोलते हैं कि सीएम के नेतृत्व में बीजेपी की सरकार अच्छा काम कर रही है. वो ध्यान में आता नहीं। एक कहीं से लकीर पकड़ करके उसको बहुत बड़ा बनाने का काम यह कांग्रेस पार्टी कर रही है।
Whether the chips land, there is little time for political maneuver with only 8 months to go for elections. With Nagarjun Dwarkanath in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, viewers, if one thought that the turmoil was only in the Bharatiya Janata Party, incorrect, because the Congress's house is way far away from being in order. The tussle for who will be the chief ministerial face continues, and the latest to add to the confusion is DK Shivakumar. Congress leader DK Shivakumar once again expressing his chief ministerial ambitions in Chitradurga. He says our community should make leaders. There will be many opportunities in the coming days. I leave it to your discretion. Not very veiled, to pretty much espousing his own chief ministerial ambitions, where he has said this many times over earlier as well, that he hopes to be the chief ministerial face for the Congress party.
ನಾಯಕರುಗಳನ್ನ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಅನೇಕ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಮುಂದೊಂದು ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನಿಮ್ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಿವೇಚನೆಗೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಶ್ರೀಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬೆಳಕು ಕಿಟಕಿ ಬಾಗಿಲು ತೆರೆದು ಮನೆ ಬಾಗಿಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಬರೋ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಕಲೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಇಬ್ರು ಶ್ರೀಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅವರು ಮುಚ್ಚಿಬಿಡ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ವಾಪಸ್ ಓಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ.
All right, staying with the news in Karnataka, the showdown over the posters of Savarkar continues to fester. Here's more.
Congress leader Siddaramaiah facing the wrath of protesting BJP workers. During a bid to gherav his vehicle in Kodagu, amid the escalating Savarkar face-off, "Go back Siddaramaiah" and "Student of Tipu Sultan" chants rented the air. Many protesters even egged Siddaramaiah's car a day after pamphlets were thrown at his car. The protesters upset over the Congress leader earlier slamming them over installing Savarkar posters.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಗೂಬೆ ಕೊಡುವುದು ಇದನ್ನ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾಗಿ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಅವ್ರ ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿರೋದು ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರು ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ತಕರಾರಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಯಾವ ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ.
The BJP versus Siddaramaiah war escalating after this jibe by Shivamoga BJP MLA Ishwarappa.
ಯಾವಾಗ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾವರ್ಕರ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಇಟ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರು ಈ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬಾಯ ಹುಳ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತು. ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ವೀರ ಸಾವರ್ಕರ್ ಹೆಸರನ್ನ ಅವ್ರ ಫೋಟೋನ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಥ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ್ರೋಹಿ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕಂಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನೋ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೌರವ ಇತ್ತು ನಂಗೆ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಥ ನೀಚ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರ ಓಟಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬಗ್ತೀನಿ ಏನಂತ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂದೋಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ದುರ್ದೈವ, ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ದುರ್ದೈವ. ಇಂಥ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ.
In Tumakuru, several new Savarkar posters came up near the Ganesh temple in Town Hall area. Earlier, miscreants had ripped off similar Savarkar posters put up in the location. Shivamoga had witnessed clashes between two groups after a 20-year-old man, Prem Singh, was stabbed in the face-off between Savarkar and Tipu Sultan posters. BJP leader Yashpal Suvarna is now seeking a Savarkar statue in Udupi.
They don't know what is Savarkar, what is the contribution of the Veer Savarkar. He is a freedom fighter. He was imprisoned for more than 26 years. He has given the life for 2 times in the history of India.
The Savarkar face-off spread to Kerala's Malappuram after a school student dressed up as Savarkar during the Independence Day celebrations. Congress and Muslim groups staged protest against the school, which was even show-caused.
Kodagu police was quick enough to act and disperse the violent crowd in Timmaya Circle. But the Siddaramaiah and Congress leaders claim that it is a failure of intelligence and law and order in the state of Karnataka. With video journalist Madhu Sagairaj reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
Over to in Kashmir, viewers, another Kashmiri pundit killed, his brother battling for life. Here's more.
Nestled in the apple orchards of Shopia in South Kashmir are two homes of Pandit families, living here for generations. Even the Kashmiri Pandit exodus of the late 1980s did not deter these families. But back-to-back attacks have left them wondering, why didn't we leave this place earlier?
हम जम्मू जा रहे हैं within 24 hours.
आपकी फैमिली?
हाँ, बस हमें अब यहाँ नहीं रहना है क्योंकि पहले भी मेरे भाई को मारा, आज इन दोनों भाइयों को मारा, कल मेरी बारी है. इसका जिम्मेदार सबसे पहले डीसी साहब हैं, जिसको मैं 4-5 बार गया ऑफिस में, उसने कोई रेस्पॉन्ड, कोई बात ही नहीं की.
It was near this tree that 3 other laborers were working. These 3 laborers were locals from the village, Muslim Kashmiri locals, and they were told to move away from this place. The 2 armed men who came, they warned them and they said that you don't need to interfere and just get away from here. And that's when, in the other direction, when Sunil and his brother were coming, it was at this particular point, this location. Their home is in that direction. We can see the tin shed. Behind the tin shed is where their home is. They had come from there, and this was the exact place where they were shot at.
Anil Kumar says after his brother Balkrishna, who was attacked in April, and now Sunil Kumar, it could be his turn. Attacks could be on suspicion of being close to BJP or being part of Tiranga rallies ahead of Independence Day. The attacks are being carried out by lesser known groups that are just fronts for Pakistan-based LET.
झंडा नहीं, जब मेरे भाई को गोली मारी उसके बाद उन्होंने प्रेस रिलीज निकाली कि वो बीजेपी के साथ चल रहा था. किस पार्टी के साथ वो आज तक चला, मुझे प्रूफ चाहिए.
In the village, people are still coming to terms with what has happened. From inside the home, we can hear wailing and crying of close relatives, family members, and what this incident has done is, it has created a lot of fear in not just the family, but also other members of this village.
Local Muslims have come out in support of their Pandit neighbors.
मैं गुजारिश करता हूं हाथ जोड़ के और दिल के गहराइयों से जो हमारे डीसी साहब है इनका भरपूर मदद करें और इनका ख्याल रखें.
हम बिल्कुल मजम्मत करते हैं. ये तो दुख की बात है, ये खुशी की बात नहीं, ये दुख की बात है. उस पे सारा गांव दुखी है.
This is not the only targeted killing in the recent past. This year, 21 people, including policemen, Kashmiri Hindus and laborers from outside Kashmir, have been killed. The police has launched a manhunt. Cordon and search operations continue.
Incident after incident, terror outfits have targeted not just civilians, including Kashmiri Pandits, but also several policemen. And now, this is being seen as a bigger plot by Pakistan to ensure deniability, as these outfits are nothing but an extension of the Lashkar-e-Taiba. With camera person Ashok Bhanot and Ejaz Dar in Shopian, Abhishek Bhalla for India Today.
Because let's take you through some astounding news that came in from the courts today. Astounding because hear this, big claim that has been made by the medical panel in the apex court, the Supreme Court. Freebies given to prescribe Dolo 650 during COVID. Freebies worth, hear this, 1,000 crore given to doctors. The plea in Supreme Court accuses farmers of bribing doctors. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments taking place, but astounding, like I said, news coming in. With that, I want to quickly shift focus to the other story that we are following very closely. After a wait, viewers, of almost 2 years, the 12th Aaj Tak Hindi debate competition was organized at the Vasant Valley School in Delhi. 84 children from across 28 schools of the country participated in this debate. The topic of the debate was the lack of free public facilities from the government. Vasant Valley School won in the competition despite fierce competition from Dehradun's Doom School.
पहला स्थान है। एक ट्रेंड सा बना हुआ है कि हम जब टीवी में न्यूज देखते हैं तो वहाँ वाद विवाद होता है और इतना शोर, इतना हल्ला, क्या टॉपिक है, किस पे वाद विवाद हो रहा है, कुछ पता नहीं। आज अगर मैं एक शब्द में कहूँ कि कैसा लगा, बहुत मजा आया। तो इसके लिए जोरदार तालियां हो जाए।
बहुत अच्छा, और वसंत वैली स्कूल ने बहुत अच्छी तरह से आयोजित किया ये। आप सोचिए 28 स्कूल्स आए लगातार, उन्होंने निरंतर इस अलग अलग विषयों पर बहस की और उसके बाद वो आज पहुंचे। टीवी पर हम लोग अक्सर बहस करते हैं तो किसी की आवाज नीची करनी पड़ती है, किसी की ऊपर करनी पड़ती है, पर यहाँ पर बहुत ही संयमित तरीके से, क्योंकि आपके तर्क और दलील में अगर ताकत हो तो फिर आपको चीखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, और वही आज बच्चों ने साबित किया है। मुझे लगता है एक ऐसा विषय फ्रीबीज पर, जिस पर चर्चा देश में सड़क से लेकर संसद और सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक चल रही है, उस पर बच्चों ने जो कहा है बहुत स्पष्ट है और सत्ता में बैठे लोगों के कानों तक पहुंचे तो इससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं हो सकता।
I think freebies are important for when it's talked about basic necessities, because in our society there are many people who need help with these necessities, and of course they have all the right to get these necessities. That's why it is important, as long as it is taken care of, as long as there are rules along with it.
Organizing such event on a big scale in which 22 schools participated is a very appreciable task in itself. Moreover, it inculcates the property of debating, and debating is not only about oratory skills. Debating is more about critical thinking and how you are presenting your views. So I would say that it is very appreciable that school is like other schools too are coming forward to participate.
You're watching our fact check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp group. Now there's a claim which was actually floated by a parody account of the BCCI suggesting that Rohit Sharma was replaced by Hardik Pandya as the T20 captain. Incorrect. Like I said, this was floated as fake news by the parody account of BCCI.